breaking news on CNN Philippines. I'm Bea Fabregas. The country clinches its first gold and silver medal in the 30th Southeast Asian Games. John Chicano placed first in the elite men's triathlon title, while fellow athlete Kim Remolino followed in second place. Our correspondent Pauline Versosa now joins us on the line. Pauline, tell us more about this huge win for the country.
Well, that's right, Bea. It was a moment of triumph for our Filipino triathletes John Rambo Chicano and Andrew Kim Remolino here at Subic Bay after they delivered the country's first gold and silver medals. The 29-year-old Chicano finished with an official time of 1 hour, 53 minutes, and 26 seconds this morning, beating his previous record in the 2017 edition where he bagged silver. This is also the third straight year that the Philippines got the gold in triathlon after Nico Huelgas won it back in 2015 and 2017. Meanwhile, 19-year-old Andrew Kim Remolino completed the 1-2 punch for the Philippines, finishing second with a time of 1 hour, 55 minutes, and 3 seconds to bag the silver in this 1.5-kilometer swim, 40-kilometer bike, and 10-kilometer run race. The young triathlete was actually the first out of the water but lagged in the bike and run transition. This is also his first time competing in the SEA Games, so he was quite happy to already get a podium finish. Meantime, the elite individual women's triathlon is ongoing here in our Filipina beds. Kim Mangrobang and Kim Kilgrew are leading the pack at first and second. In a few hours, we'll also find out if they will be delivering more medals for the Philippines, and the awarding ceremony is expected to take place around 10:45 a.m. today. Bea?
What a great start. Thank you so much, Paui, for that report. Chicano and Remolino talked to the media after the event. They shared their thoughts on bagging the country's first medals in the SEA Games.
Sobrang saya nga po. Sobrang thankful sa Panginoon. Binigay niya sa akin po. Siyempre, na-depend natin yung gold and silver para sa bansa na karapat-dapat naman dahil sa pagsuporta nila sa akin. Simula umpisa talaga sinuporta tayo ng gobyerno. Para sa inyo to, maraming salamat.
Sobrang saya po na kahit kakagaling na ng junior, nakapag-angat sa nakapasok na sa SEA Games, nakakuha pa po ng silver. Siyempre, it's a bonus na po. Manalo po tayo. Sobrang saya po kasi na-defend lang po yung gold at silver.
Keep it here on CNN Philippines to get the stories as they happen. I'm Bea Fabregas. This is breaking news on CNN Philippines. I'm Bea Fabregas. Another victory for the country in the 30th Southeast Asian Games. Agatha Wong defends her title with a first-place finish in the women's wushu taiji chuan event. She bagged the country's second gold in the regional meet. Meantime, men's bet Daniel Parantac places third. We now talk to our correspondent, Chrissy De Matula. Chrissy, tell us more about this.
Bea, Philippines' own Agatha Wong once again dominated the Southeast Asian Games with an impressive performance in the Wushu Taiji Chuan event. Wong was able to capture a gold medal with a score of 9.67 points on Sunday. Taiji Chuan is a modern style of Wushu which highlights graceful and flowy movements. She joins John Chicano of triathlon as an early gold medal winner for the Philippines in the 30th Southeast Asian Games. Wong had also ruled the event in the 2017 SEA Games in Kuala Lumpur. After her performance, Wong was quite emotional. She says she dedicates her performance to her 11-year-old teammate who recently passed away. Men's Taiji Chuan just wrapped with Philippines' Daniel Lapawan, winning the bronze medal. Bea?
Chrissy, I can't even imagine how emotional and how exciting it was there. Can you just describe the atmosphere?
Well, Bea, it's a full house here at the World Trade Center in Pasay, with Filipinos showing their support for their countrymen. Agatha Wong hopes that the same level of support will be given in succeeding SEA Games events. Happening now, Bea, is the men's Wushu Shan Chuan event, which focuses more on fighting styles. Philippines' John Seth Gaho delivered a strong performance with a score of 9.51. Bea?
There you have it. Thank you, Chrissy, so much for that report. CNN Philippines caught up with Wong after her performance. Here's what she said.
I feel relieved kasi I was in kind of a bad place before I competed, mentally and emotionally. Tas sumasakit yung katawan ko, pero like I'm really proud na I delivered a solid performance and I have no regrets.
Meantime, a double win for the Philippines in the SEA Games women's triathlon event. The country gets another 1-2 finish in the elite women's triathlon as Kim Mangroban defends her title. This is her third straight gold in the SEA Games. Meantime, Kim Kilgore followed Mangroban, bagging second place. We'll give you more updates on the SEA Games as soon as they become available. Stay tuned to CNN Philippines. I'm Bea Fabregas.
Dito po sa landmass po ng Pilipinas. So para po mabigyan tayo ng detalye tungkol dito sa bagyo, ibibigay ko ulit itong microphone kay Venus. Thank you very much at good morning.
Okay, thank you very much Dr. Dalina Sir for that opening statement. Para po sa ating update on Typhoon Tisoy, we have here with us Mr. Christopher Perez, Senior Weather Specialist.
Magandang umaga po sa kanila at welcome sa ating updating ng typhoon na si Tisoy na may international name na Kamuri. Patuloy nga tayo nagmo-monitor dito sa bagyong si Tisoy. Mga nakaraang araw pa nasa labas ng ating responsibility at ngayon nga ay nasa loob na at posibleng for the next 2 days ay direktang makaapekto sa ating bansa. At kaninang alas 10 ng umaga, ang sentro o ang mata ng typhoon na si Tisoy ay tinatayang nasa layong 735 kilometers silangan ng Birac, Catanduanes. Taglay ni Tisoy, ang lakas ng hangin umabot hanggang 140 kilometers per hour malapit sa gitna nito at ang pagbugso naman ay posibleng umabot na hanggang 170 kilometers per hour. Ito ay kumikilos sa direksyong Pakanluran naman sa bilis na 25 kilometers per hour. At bagamat malayo pa itong bagyo, mapapansin natin yung makapal na kaulapan na ito, posibleng ang nakaka-apekto na sa ilang bahagi ng Kabikulan at ng Eastern Visayas. Sa mga oras na ito ay nakataas ang Tropical Cyclone Wind Signal number 1 or number 2 dito sa may bandang Catanduanes, Northern Samar at Eastern Samar. Yung mga areas po na mga color yellow under Tropical Cyclone Wind Signal number 2. Samantala, Tropical Cyclone Wind Signal number 1 naman dito sa areas na kulay blue, particular na dito sa lalawigan ng Aklan, Capiz, Samar, Biliran, Camotes Island, Southern Leyte, Quezon, Pulilo Island, sa Camarines Provinces, Albay, Sorsogon, sa Masbate kasama na dyan ang Burias Island, Ticao Island, bandang Marinduque at Romblon. Ganon din dito sa may bandang Northern Iloilo, particular na dito sa mga areas ng Ajoy, Anilao, Balasan, Banate, Barotac, Viejo, Batad, Bingawan, Calinog, Carles, Concepcion, Dingle, Duenas, Estancia, Lambunaw, Lemery, Pasig City, San Dionisio, San Enrique at San Rafael. Sa may bandang Northern Antique, particularly sa Culasi, Libertad, Pandan, Sebaste at Tibiao, habang sa Northern Negros Oriental, Cadiz City, Calatrava, Enrique B, Magalona, Escalante City, Manapla, Sagay City, Silay City, Toboso at Victoria City. Bandang Northern Cebu naman sa Asturias, Bantayan, Bogo City, Borbon, Carmen, Catmon, Bantayan, Danau City, Madridejos, Medellin, Pilar, Poro, San Francisco, San Remigio, Santa Fe, Sogod, Tabogon, Tabuelan, Tuburan at Tudela. So mapapansin natin na napakarami na pong currently may tropical cyclone warning signal at asahan natin na habang lumalapit yung bagyo ay posible pa pong madagdagan itong mga areas na ito. So, ito yung sa kasalukuyang posisyon kaninang alas 8 ng umaga ng typhoon na si Tisoy at inaasahan nga natin na bukas ay approximately 245 kilometers ang magiging layo nito silangan ng Birac, Catanduanes. So yung pagkilos niya po kahit malayo, yun ay nagwawaran na nga na isyuan ng tropical cyclone wind signal at pagdating naman ng Tuesday morning ay posibleng nandito na to sa may bandang Catanawan, Quezon. So in between Monday evening to Tuesday early morning ay posibleng maglandfall dito sa may bandang Bicol region. At pagdating ng Wednesday morning, inaasahan natin na tuloy na itong nakalagpas ng landmass ng ating bansa at kumikilos patungo dito sa West Philippine Sea. Pagdating naman ng Thursday morning ay halos nasa western boundary na ng ating air responsibility at patuloy ang kumikilos patungo dito sa West Philippine Sea. At posible na sa araw ng Thursday tuluyan ng lumabas ng ating air responsibility, and by Friday inaasahan na nandito siya sa may bandang 660 kilometers ang layo west ng Coron, Palawan, o totally nasa labas na po ng ating area of responsibility. So ito yung nakikita nating graph, pinakikita nito yung forecast rainfall ng Weather Research and Forecast Model or WRF. Dito po sa unang table na to, makikita natin na from December 1 ngayong araw hanggang December 2 bukas, alas 8 ng ngayong umaga hanggang alas 8 bukas, mas marami tayong inaasahan na paulan dito karaniwan sa mga areas ng Bicol Region at maging dito sa Samar Provinces. And then, simula po bukas ng umaga hanggang sa Martes ng umaga, yung concentration ng maraming paulan, Bicol Region at ilang bahagi rin po ng Quezon area. At meron din tayo dito nga sa may bandang Eastern Visayas at meron tayo occasionally dito sa may bandang Quezon Province. And then pagdating naman ng Martes hanggang Miyerkules, makikita natin yung concentration ng paulan simula po dito sa Bicol Region ay umakyat na po. Nakararaming bahagi ng Southern Luzon, including Metro Manila at ilang bahagi po ng Central Luzon. So ito yung pictorial representation nung pinakita nating graph kanina. Mapapansin natin yung mga kulay ng paulan. Ito pong kulay blue ay halos sa very light rains lamang simula po ngayon hanggang kaninang madaling araw hanggang bukas ng madaling araw, Lunes. Pero pagdating ng Lunes ng madaling araw hanggang Martes ng madaling araw, may mga paulan na tayong matitindi dito sa may bandang Bicol Region ng Eastern Visayas. And yung 48-hour forecast na paulan, makikita natin, napakaraming areas na po sa Southern Luzon. Posibleng kasama na dyan ng Metro Manila, makaranas ng moderate to heavy rains. Now, ano nga ba inaasahan natin? Bukas, inaasahan natin yung occasional to frequent heavy rains over Bicol Region, Samar Provinces, and Biliran. Ito yung mga areas na exposed. Inaasahan natin ang unang tatamaan. Sa mga oras ito, yung satellite imagery natin kanina, makapansin natin, may mga kaulapan ng umaabot. Moderate to occasionally heavy rains naman sa Romblon, Marinduque, and Quezon. That is for tomorrow. Now, pagdating ng Tuesday, inaasahan natin na frequent to continuous heavy rains. Bicol Region, Calabarzon, Metro Manila, Mindoro Provinces, Marinduque, Romblon, Zambales, Bataan, Pampanga at sa Bulacan. Dahil nga inaasahan natin na tatawid ng Southern Luzon, pero dahil napakalawak ng bagyo, kahit yung estimate center nito ay nasa Southern Luzon area, ilang bahagi po ng Central Luzon at ilang bahagi ng yung more on the southern part ng Southern Luzon, apektado pa rin po. Kasama na dyan ang Metro Manila. Samantala, moderate occasionally heavy rains naman, Aklan, Capiz, northern portion ng Antique at rest of Luzon. Even some parts of Visayas, apektado pa rin ng mga paulan. Pero yung concentration talaga ng heavy rains, inaasahan natin dun sa mga lalawigan under the direct path of the typhoon. And mapanganib pong pumalaot sa mga karagatan dun sa mga areas na may warning signal na banggit natin, maging dito sa northern at western seaboards ng northern Luzon at eastern seaboards ng ating bansa. Dahil inaasahan natin na magiging maalon hanggang sa napakaalon po yung mga karagatan dito. Now, posible rin tayo magdagdag ng mga areas under warning signal number 1 mamayang hapon, yung next bulletin natin. Si Tisoy po inaasahan na maglalandfall sa Bicol Region sa pagitan ng bukas ng gabi hanggang Tuesday ng madaling araw. Ngayon, ito po yung historical, base sa historical records natin, no? Ito yung mga areas na may risk ng storm surge. Maging dito sa may bandang Samar Provinces, Northern and Eastern Samar, at dito sa Bicol Region at Catanduanes area, at maging dito sa may bandang Camarines Norte, at posible pa rin pong madagdagan yan. Considering the track, maging dito sa may bandang baba, may mapapansin tayo. Paglagpas ng habang tumatawid yung bagyo. That is why, sa ngayon papatuloy yung pakikipag-ugnayan natin sa lahat po ng concerned government agencies para po sa disaster preparedness and mitigation measures. Ano nga ba inaasahan natin ng mga posibleng impact ng, sa pagdaan ng bagyong si Tisoy sa ating bansa? Mga mabubunot yung puno, uprooting of trees. pagpatumba ng mga electrical posts, mga poste ng kuryente. Pwede rin makasira ng mga bahay made of light to medium materials, makapagtanggal ng bubong ng ilang bahay, and of course, yung banta ng pagbaha, pagguhod ng lupa dahil sa mga paulan na dala nito, at yung storm surge dahil sa malalakas ng hangin habang paparating yung bagyo dito nga sa ating bansa. At kaakibat niyan, of course, siguradong magkakaroon po tayo ng mga suspension ng classes at mga trabaho sa government institutions. Kaya patuloy paalala natin sa mga residente po ng mga apektadong lugar. Unang-una, may mga warning signal. Pangalawa, yung mga areas na malapit din, nabanggit nating lalawigan beyond the warning signal areas, maging alerto sa mga posibleng pagbaha at pagguho ng lupa. Patuloy na makipag-ugnayan sa kanilang lokal na pamahalaan at disaster risk reduction management offices. At magantabay lang po, hindi lamang sa severe weather bulletin na mula dito sa Pag-asa Central Office, maging sa ating mga thunderstorm, rainfall advisory at heavy rainfall warning na magmumula po sa ating Pag-asa Regional Services Division. At para po sa mga karagdagang impormasyon, hinggil nga sa magiging lagay na ating panahon at update sa bagyong si Tisoy, mangyari lamang bisitahin namin pong website, bagong.pagasa.dost.gov.ph. Ang susunod po nating severe weather bulletin ay ipapalabas mamaya alas 5 ng hapon. Yun po muna at magandang araw.
Alright, thank you very much, Mr. Chris Perez, for that update. At this point, alamin naman ho natin yung hydrological update. Of course, papaliwanag sa atin ni Ms. Sonia Zerrano, ang ating duty hydrologist. Magandang umaga po sa inyong lahat. At dumako naman po tayo dito sa mga dam updates at mga GFAs o hydrological situations ng Pag-asa, HMD. Makikita po natin dito as of 6 a.m. ngayong umaga, ang atin pong Angat Dam ay bahagyang umangat ng 0.17 meters. Ito po ay nasa 188.97 meters. Ito po ay kahapon ay nasa 188.80 meters. Bahagya po siya umakit ng 0.17 meters. Ang Ipodam po natin ay nasa 100.25 meters. Bahagyang bumaba ng 0.04 meters. Ang Lamesa Dam po natin ay nasa 77.45 meters. Ito rin po ay bahagyang bumaba ng 0.01 meters. Ang Buklaw Dam ay nasa 741.69 meters. Ito po ay bahagya pa rin bumaba ng 0.07 meters. Ang Binga Dam natin ay nasa 571.59 meters. Ito po ay bahagyang umakyat ng 0.48 meters mula po kahapon. Ang San Roque Dam po naman natin ay nasa 278.80 meters. Ito po ay bahagyang bumaba ng 0.15 meters mula po kahapon ng alas 6 ng umaga. Ang Pantabangan Dam natin ay nasa 211.74 meters. Ito po ay parehas po kahapon. Wala pong pinagbago ang kanyang level ng tubig. Ang Magat Dam po naman natin ay nasa 191.15 meters. Ito po ay bahagyang bumaba ng 0.05 meters mula po kahapon ng alas 6 ng umaga. Ang Kaliraya Dam po natin ay bumaba din ng bahagya. Ito ay nasa 287.10 meters po. Makikita po natin dito na 990 millimeters of rain ang kailangan para mapuno ng 212.0 meters ang Angat Dam. Siguro mga 2 o 3 bagyo ang kailangan para po mapuno itong Angat Dam natin sa 212. Ito naman pong San Roque Dam natin, nasa 278.80 meters na. Para makapuno po siya ng 280 meters, nangangailangan po tayo ng 60 millimeters of rainfall. Samantalang ito pong Pantabangan Dam, mababa pa naman po siya, nasa 211.74 meters po ngayon, nangangailangan po ito ng 810 millimeters of rain. At ang Magat, nasa 191.15 meters. Ang kailangan na lang po natin dito ay mga 22 millimeters of rain, kaya maliit na lang para mapuno marating natin ang 193 meters of level, water level. Ito po makikita natin yung typhoon track ng Typhoon Tisoy. makikita natin na ito ay westward at maapektuhan ang maapektuhan ng Bicol region tsaka yung Eastern Visayas. Sa ngayon po, nakapag-issue na kami ng General Flood Advisory sa Bicol region at Eastern Visayas at ito ay malamang na madagdagan pa dahil sa magiging epekto ng bagyong Tisoy. At alam naman natin na ito ay dadaan pa westward. Kaya inaasahan po natin na madadagdagan pa itong ating General Flood Advisory. Yan lang po ang update natin. Magandang umaga po sa inyo lahat.
Okay, thank you very much, Ms. Sonia Serrano, for that update. Allow me to acknowledge our media friends. We have Zian Arcangel of CNN, Noel Veloso and Oliver Marquez of Philippine News Agency, Manny Vargas of DCWB. We have Ms. Lori Nichols of National Geographic, and of course, Ms. MG Balaguer and Mike Balaguer from JaringTagalog.net. And of course, we have from ABS-CBN. Okay, so sino po ang... Yes, Manny? Go ahead. Manny Vargas, DCWB.
Kay Sir Robert Sawi po. Sir, good morning. Sir, first question po, bakit po humina yung bagyo? Ano po yung dahilan? From 150 and 185, naging 140 and 170. And aside po sa paghina niya, ano po yung reason ng paghina niya? Ito po ba yung mga hulugan na pwedeng kahit malayo pa lamang, continually ihina po siya or pwede siya lumakas ulit?
Base doon sa current intensity niya ngayon na 140, previously 150 kasi yon, nakikita natin na pinapasukan na siya ng medyo malamig na hangin dahil doon sa northeast. So, salamat tayo dahil sabi ko nga medyo nanghina ng bagya, but eventually pagtama siguro dito sa may Bicol area, merong gradual decrease in intensity sa nakikita natin sa ngayon. Then, ulan na lang siguro yung medyo delikado during that period before it make landfall dun sa lugar. So, yung maulan yung northern part ng bagyo, pagtama niya dun sa Bicol area. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Manny, for that question. Meron pa po tayong tanong? Or clarification sa ating update. Yes, Ms. Zian Arcangel of CNN.
Hi, sir and ma'am. Good morning. Ma'am, there have been reports, actually parang mga reports like coming out on social media that itong si Tisoy daw po is holding so much volume of water than Yolanda. Yun po yung mga lumalabas na report. So can you clarify po kung gaano po kadaming tubig or ulan yung ibabagsak nitong typhoon na to?
Maraming salamat sa iyong katanungan kasi gusto nga naming sagutin yan at meron na kami actually press release tungkol dyan. So, sa nakikita natin kay Tisoy, meron siyang dalang mga ulan pero hindi siya yung torrential na sinasabi. Nakalagay nga doon strongest and most intense na ulan on earth. Yun yata yung nakalagay doon sa statement. Hindi po natin nakikita na gano'n yung sitwasyon. Ang nakikita po natin ngayon, may dala pong mga pag-ulan itong si Tisoy. Ang i-flash natin dyan kanina, ito po ay frequent to continuous heavy rainfall. And meron po kaming instant or with some cases or sometimes meron po tayong nilalagay na intense, hindi torrential. So, yung pong mga intense na yon na rainfall, ito po yung hindi po yan equally doon sa buong area. Kung hindi, may portions po. Kumbaga, meron pong tumpok-tumpok na makakapal na ulap or cloud, yung tinatawag nating cumulonimbus cloud. Doon po yung malakas yung buhos, pero hindi po yan evenly distributed doon sa areas na dadaanan ng bagyo. What we have ay heavy rainfall over the area habang dumadaan yung bagyo, at ang nakikita po natin dito, hindi po siya ganon kalakas na torrential. Doon po sa pinagbabasihan na nung satellite image na yon, we have studied din yung satellite image na nabanggit. which is based doon sa cloud top temperature na napakababa. Talaga pong mababa yung cloud top temperature, lalo na po kahapon, dahil marami po tayong cold clouds. Kung makikita natin siguro, Chris, yung satellite image, pakita natin siguro yung satellite image kung saan yung mga scaly na clouds doon sa taas ng bagyo, ito po ay napakalamig. Ito nga yung pumapasok doon sa bagyo. So pag mababa po yung temperature, binabase po pa kasi nila doon sa cloud top temperature yung amount ng rainfall. Pero hindi natin makita na yung ulan, na yung clouds na yon ay very thick. Yung very thick po kasi, ibig sabihin yung cumulonimbus cloud na yon, nakaka-reach po doon sa taas at makapal, kaya yung cloud top temperature niya mababa. Ang isang instance po yon, ang nakikita rin ng satellite na mababang temperature ay yung maninipis na high clouds. So yun po yung dapat na titingnan din natin yung vertical structure ng cloud, hindi lang po yung cloud top temperature. So sa ngayon po, nakikita natin na pinapasok na siya ng lamig. So hindi na siya ganon kalakas yung hangin, but then may ulan pa rin po tayong inaasahan during its passage. So mabilis yung bagyo, kaya nakikita naman natin, hindi ganon ka sobrang dami yung ibubuhos habang dumadaan lang siya. Before its approach, merong kalahating ulap na nung bagyo, and then while it passes, yun po yung maulan. Pero binibigyan po natin ng babala yung ating mga kababayan na malakas pa rin yung ulan na ito at may areas na merong intense rainfall. So yung flooding natin, talaga pa yung mabababang lugar, kailangan ng mag-ingat, lumikas kung kinakailangan, and then yung hangin, nagpasalamat tayo at medyo humina ng kaunti. So yun po yung aming explanation na bago po natin paniwalaan din, baka magpanik ang lahat ng tao. Although maganda naman po kung tayo ay magpe-prepare.
Pag-asa there saying that Typhoon Tisoy slightly weakened before making a landfall over Bicol region between Monday night and Tuesday morning. It will bring frequent and continuous rainfall. Already, tropical cyclone wind signal number 2 is up in Catanduanes, Northern Samar and Eastern Samar. Signal number 1 in Aklan, Capi, Samar, Biliran, Camotes Island, Leyte, Southern Leyte, Quezon Province, including Pulido Island, Camarines Sur and Camarines Norte, Albay, Sorsogon, Masbate, including Burias, Ticao Island, Marinduque, and Romblon, Northern Iloilo, Northern Antique, and Northern Negros Oriental. Pag-asa says that the most critical time will be on Tuesday and Wednesday when
triathlon events with another 1-2 finish in the women's race. We now have our correspondent Pauline Versosa on the line. Paui, what a great start for the Philippines. It's been an eventful morning in the games. Please tell us more about this.
Well, that's right. Double victories already for our men's and women's triathlon teams. Earlier, Filipina bets Kim Mangrobang and Kim Kilgore completed an impressive 1-2 finish in the elite women individual triathlon today. Now, Kim Mangrobang clinched the gold with an official time of 2 hours and 2 minutes to successfully defend her gold in the 2017 edition. The 28-year-old triathlete said she was actually a bit nervous and pressured to race in front of her countrymen. She even came second in the bike course because she said that wasn't her strength, but come the run course, she performed her best to finish as the top female triathlete in the region. Meanwhile, Filipino-American Kim Kilgore came in second with a time of 2 hours, 5 minutes, and 2 seconds to bag the silver medal. Kilgore says the conditions of the race were quite good, except for the heat, which she felt in the second lap of the run course. But nonetheless, she was able to capture a podium finish in her very first SEA Games. Now, the awarding ceremony for the winners of both men's and women's divisions just took place. Earlier, our very own men's triathletes John Chicano and Andrew Remolino also swept the men's individual triathlon to bag the country's first gold and silver medals, respectively. So in total, that's 4 medals already from our Filipino triathletes here in Subic. Bea?
Thank you so much, Paui. Smiles all around. So many things to celebrate. Mangroban and Kilgore face the media after their race. They share their thoughts on dominating the event.
sobrang saya ko. And of course, syempre nanalo tayo. Sobrang nakadagdag saya pa yon. Ginagawa ko to para maka-inspire ng mga bata, syempre. And mag-grow pa yung sports na triathlon sa Pilipinas kasi sobrang laki ng advantage natin dito.
I feel great. I feel so happy to have this finish. I mean, it was an incredible race and I'm super glad to have done it. I mean, this is so great. I mean, to be a part of the top 4, you know, this is a podium sweep for the top 4 and I don't think we could ask for more.
Keep it here on CNN Philippines to get the stories as they happen. I'm Bea Fabregas.
Welcome to the newsroom on CNN Philippines. In the news, winning the gold, Filipino athletes are on a roll as they dominate the first official day of the Southeast Asian Games. Typhoon Tisoy slightly weakened, set to make landfall tomorrow night or early Tuesday morning. Good evening, I'm Claire Celdran and thank you for joining us. We begin with breaking news. Carlos Yulo continues to make the country proud, this time with a gold medal in the 30th Southeast Asian Games. Yulo topped the men's artistic gymnastics competition. He is also the second Filipino to make it to the 2020 Tokyo Olympics. Meantime, the first official day of the regional meet is almost over and the country has bagged 31 medals so far. Our Paulo Barcelon now joins us live from the International Broadcast Center in Clark, Pampanga. Paulo, what a great start for the Philippines in the SEA Games. Tell us more about this.
Well, Claire, as the sunset of day one approaches tonight, the Philippines maintains its dominance in the medal standings of the 30th Southeast Asian Games after it won 19 out of 39 gold medals are at stake today. Dance sport provided half of today's gold haul so far. 9 gold medals followed by men's arnis, where the Philippine athletes swept today's medal rounds. The Sepak Takraw hoops teams each bagged 1 gold, while gymnastics dynamo Carlos Yulo and reigning SEA Games Wushu Taijikwan champion Agatha Wong had 1 gold each. Meanwhile, the Philippines has earned 7 silver medals in total, the latest coming from the country's polo players after they were defeated by reigning SEA Games polo champion Malaysia. Our triathletes completed a 1-2 finish in the games with Andrew Remolino and Kim Kilgro each giving a silver for the Philippines. Dance sport also contributed 3 silver medals in the solo quick step, solo jive, and breaking B-girl categories, while we also got a silver medal in mountain bike cross-country cycling. Cycling also contributed 2 out of our 5 bronze medals, while our athletes in men's Wushu Taijikwan, women's 45-kilogram weightlifting, and women's water polo bagged 1 bronze medal each. Meantime, Claire, a potential medal sport to watch for is 3x3 basketball, as our national team swept the preliminary rounds of the SEA Games 3x3 basketball tournaments. Both men's and women's 3x3 teams scored a perfect 4-0 record today to become the top scoring teams in the said sport. If they win their scheduled games tomorrow, Claire, they will be assured of a semi-finals spot. Claire?
Meantime, the country ruled the men and women's triathlon as athletes clinched a double victory today. Our Perline Versosa tells us more.
The Philippines' first 2 gold medals in the 30th Southeast Asian Games were delivered by the country's top triathletes. This morning, 29-year-old John Rambo Chicano finished first in the men's individual triathlon with an official time of 1 hour, 53 minutes and 26 seconds, beating his previous record in the 2017 edition where he bagged silver. This is also the 3rd straight year that the Philippines clinched the gold after Nico Huelgas won it in 2015 and 2017. Meanwhile, 19-year-old Andrew Remolino completed a 1-2 punch for the Philippines, finishing second with a time of 1 hour, 55 minutes and 3 seconds to bag silver in this 1.5-kilometer swim, 40-kilometer bike, and 10-kilometer run race.
Sobrang saya nga po. Sobrang thankful sa Panginoon at binigay niya sa atin to. Siyempre, na-depend natin yung gold and silver para sa bansa na karapat-dapat naman dahil sa pagsuporta nila sa atin. Simula umpisa talaga, sinuportahan tayo ng gobyerno. Para sa inyo to, maraming salamat.
Siyempre po, sobrang saya po na kahit kakagaling na ng junior, nakapag-angat sa nakapasok na sa SEA Games, nakakuha pa po ng silvers. Siyempre, it's a bonus na po na manalo po tayo. Tsaka sobrang saya po kasi na-defend nga po yung gold tsaka silver.
Meantime, Filipina Bets Kim Mangrobang and Kim Kilgore also completed an impressive 1-2 finish in the women's individual triathlon. Mangrobang clinched the gold with an official time of 2 hours and 2 minutes to successfully defend her title that she won in 2017.
Sobrang saya ko, and of course, syempre nanalo tayo. Sobrang nakadagdag saya pa yon. Ginagawa ko to para maka-inspire ng mga bata, syempre, and mag-grow pa yung sports na triathlon sa Pilipinas kasi sobrang laki ng advantage natin dito.
Meanwhile, Filipina-American Kim Kilgore came in second with a time of 2 hours, 5 minutes, and 2 seconds to bag the silver medal.
I feel great. I feel so happy to have this finish. I mean, it was an incredible race, and I'm super glad to have done it. I mean, this is so great. I mean, to be a part of the top 4, you know, this is a podium sweep for the top 4, and I don't think we could ask for more.
Well, that's a total of 4 medals already from our Filipino triathletes on the first day of the SEA Games. Tomorrow, the men's and women's duathlon, as well as the mixed relay triathlon, will also take place here at Subic Bay. Pauline Verzosa, CNN Philippines.
A festive ceremony on Saturday night marks the culmination of an eventful week as the Southeast Asian Games formally opened at the Philippine Arena. The Philippines was able to showcase facets of Philippine traditional and popular culture through dance and heartfelt song numbers by artists such as Apple the App, Christian Bautista, KZ Tandingan, Elmo Magalona, and more. A highlight of the evening was the lighting of the cauldron led by boxing legends Manny Pacquiao and Nesty Petesio in New Clark City, some 88 kilometers farther north of the Philippine Arena. Messages of support for the athletes and the SEA Games have been pouring in. Here are some of them. SEA Games volunteer program official Chris Chu got goosebumps during the opening ceremonies of the regional meet. From his tweet, the best part for him was seeing Filipinos united, cheering for one team and one country. Vice President Leni Robredo thanks the athletes for representing the Philippines in the regional meet. Finally, Asia's sole Supreme and SEA Games performer KZ Tandingan simply said, quote, "We made history. Congratulations to every single person who worked tirelessly to make the opening ceremony successful. My heart is bursting with pride and gratitude. Mabuhay ang Pilipinas." Breaking news, it's now 32 medals for the country as we clinch another gold in the dance sport 5 Dances Latin event. And in other news, Typhoon Tisoy will make landfall in Bicol on Tuesday. Heavy rains are expected in the region. Typhoon Tisoy comes with maximum sustained winds of up to 140 kilometers per hour with a gustiness of up to 170 kilometers per hour. Signal number 1 is expected over Calabarzon, Aurora, Eastern Nueva Ecija, areas in Mimaropa such as Marinduque and Romblon, areas in Bicol region such as Masbate, Camarines Norte, and several parts of Visayas. Meanwhile, signal number 2 is expected over Camarines Sur, Catanduanes, Albay, Sorsogon, and the province of Samar. On the phone is Director Claudio Yucot of Office of Civil Defense Region 5. Sir, good evening, sir.
Yes, good evening. Good evening sa inyong mga followers. Magandang gabi.
Sir, kamusta naman po yung mga tao dyan sa Region 5? Are people, are you preparing for the typhoon?
Yes, we are expecting na tatama muna sa Catanduanes and then it will traverse Camarines Sur and then Camarines Norte before leaving Bicol area.
As of now, wala pa naman kayo nakikitang pag-ulan-ulan sa area ninyo?
Yeah, meron ng light rain dito sa amin sa ngayon na naramdaman namin.
May mga preparations ho ba na ginagawa for the typhoon?
Yes, we have already prepared, our DSWD has already prepared relief goods. May naka-preposition na relief goods. We have a total of 22,340 family food packs that are in their warehouse. We have also prepositioned 3,000 family food packs in the
Sir, what about mga forced evacuations right now? Meron na ho pa babang evacuations that are happening?
Yes, as of 5 p.m. today, ito yung nag-evacuate na a total of 9,771 families consisting of 38,759 persons. Total yan, for Cam Norte, 735 families, 2,615 persons. In Camsor, 11 families, 55 persons. In Masbate, 49 families, 185 persons. In Albay, 8,976 families with 35,904 persons.
Sir,
as of 5 p.m.
Sir, do you have an appeal to residents?
Yes, we have continuously appealed to them na once na nag-conduct na ng preemptive evacuations yung ating mga LGUs, huwag na po silang mag-atubili na sumunod at ito'y para sa kanilang kaligtasan.
Okay, maraming salamat, Director Yucot, for speaking with us tonight.
Yes, maraming salamat din.
Meanwhile, classes are suspended in the following areas. This is Newsroom on CNN Philippines. Welcome back. Breaking news, it's now 32 medals for the country as we clinch another gold in the dance sport 5 Dances Latin event. And the Newsroom this Sunday, December 1st. I'm Claire Saldran. Stay with CNN Philippines for news you can trust. We'll leave you with these Filipino athletes giving their best shot to win the gold in the first official day of the Southeast Asian Games.